Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Tuesday. And it feels like that was a little bit abrupt and quite an excited hello, but there we are. That was Don't Cry, probably, I think, my sister's first appearance of 2025. But thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon to start tonight's live stream. And I tell you what, we're going to jump straight into the live chat room to give some shout outs. We have Bob, Howard, Carla, Momo, Chris, Elaine, Leslie, Terry, Cindy, Sue, Daisy, Sarah, Melody Rocks, Diamond Gold, Lisa, and it's gone through the top of the screen. But thank you guys for joining me on this Tuesday night. Let's get organised and get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So thank you guys. You know who you are. As always, my patrons' names go across the live streams throughout a Tuesday and a Saturday night when we do live stream, and they make it all possible, the foundation of everything that I do, as I always say. So thank you guys for all of the support. And let's get the likes goal up on screen as well. I've got a feeling maybe I didn't change the Phil Jam number. I'm not sure. I did not change it. It is going to be 206. That's a lot of jams. Phil Jam number 206. And if we get to 555 likes, all of the fives for tonight, then we will be having a jam at the end of the live stream. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And to keep on with the organised theme, we have the likeometer up on screen and we are at 236 likes so far. So yeah, thank you guys. Cool, bit of a spike there. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. We'll keep an eye on that as we get through the live stream. And let me just get the donations tab up on screen because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So I know that there have been donations over on PayPal and I can see that Paul's in the super chat window as well. So thank you guys for those. And I'm going to experiment tonight with clicking on and off the audio monitor, which is something that when I play a video or if I'm doing the Phil Jam, I sometimes get a delay of my own voice or you know, the backing track or my guitar, and it's really off-putting. Obviously, I try to make it seem like it's not off-putting, but it can be very off-putting. So I've clicked on the audio monitor button to turn it off, but I almost clicked on the button which is right next to it, which is the live streaming button. So I don't want to turn that off. So yeah, we will see. Actually, I'm going to turn the audio monitor back on, actually, and then just turn it down. And I'll just keep on doing that throughout the live stream. So anyway, last night you might have noticed over on Patreon that I didn't do an update. And there are a couple of reasons for this. And normally I just say, you know, what I'm doing during the day. But people over there on Patreon will probably know what I was doing. It's just admin on a Monday and a Thursday, getting CD orders up to date, all that kind of stuff, because I still send out the CDs myself from the website. So there was that, but I'm also working on my side project, which means that my admin days are pretty much side project days. So it means that I'm kind of double busy on those particular days. And we had yesterday the gremlin of all gremlins, and this presented itself as a power cut, and not just a power cut in the house or with a computer or something where, you know, with the is it junction box? I feel like that might not be the right word, but with all the fuses in there, sometimes a fuse kind of, you know, trips out or something, and then you go to it and you can get everything working again. It wasn't that. This was a power cut for the whole area, and I know that because when the neighbours came outside and said, have you lost all power? And then yes, everyone had lost power. So anyway, it meant that I couldn't do anything, and you realise that everything is electricity. And the problem that I've got is where I am, I don't get a very good signal on my phone, which means even 3G and 4G, trying to get the internet on my phone, I wasn't able to do that either. Because, of course, you think, oh, let me just check the internet to check what's going wrong or whether people are reporting it and how wide this problem is. So you realize, oh no, but that's not working on my phone and I can't use anything because I went onto my laptop and obviously started Google Chrome, and then I realized, oh yeah, the internet works from the electricity, the hub that you've got, the router effectively. So yeah, you realize, oh, there's nothing that can be done. Anyway, the reason that I mention this is because that went on for probably maybe 1 or 2 hours. So it got to the point where, people were thinking about, I'm sure, as I was, about food in the fridge and in the freezer, defrosting and all that kind of stuff, because there's just no power. Anyway, so thankfully it did come back on again, but I phoned just to see what was going on. One place, and I can't remember who they were, like the local place. Oh no, the actual electricity place for the whole of the UK. And then the person said, oh yeah, for that problem, you don't ring this number, but he did say that normally you don't ring this number, you ring kind of the local number, which he gave me. But he did say, but it's probably related to some builders who went through a main power line. It means that they've lost, and he had, I think, over 300 homes so far that had all lost power for that amount of time. So, yeah, that was a severe gremlin, because it means you literally can't do anything. And for me, on an admin day, not being able to do anything means that every minute that goes past is like -1, -2, -3, -4. I'm saying minus because now I'm behind schedule. So then -1 hour, -1 hour and a half, -2 hours. Oh, it's all back on again. So anyway, by the time it got to the evening, obviously I was behind with everything, trying to catch up, and it meant that I just didn't have time to do the update because I was just involved with getting everything up to date so that I could start today as another new day and not have to worry about completing things that happening yesterday. But then again, I was still doing stuff on the side project today because I'm really wanting to get that up and running and kind of get that out there soon. So anyway, that's the gremlin report, probably the most severe gremlin report ever, because it was literally a case of lots of people not having electricity, which isn't great. Anyway, we will jump into the donations. Paul donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was 459,000 subscribers. Yay. Spike the likes, all y'all. So thank you for that. Great idea. If you could hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. We're at, 306 likes so far. It means we're looking for 149. That doesn't seem like it's going to be right. 149. Maybe 249? I think the 49 might have been right, but maybe it was more. 200 rather than 100, because it's 300 and 500. Anyway, we'll maybe try maths again a little bit later on, and I'll do it a little bit more accurately. So, once we get to 406 or just 400, that'd be 155. Oh, let's just try and keep it simple. Right. There have been donations over in the PayPal window, so thank you guys for these as well. And we had a donation from Susan, and this was for £8. So thank you for this, Susan. And that was on Monday morning at 12 minutes past 7. And that is a straight up donation without a message, but thank you for that, Susan. And Cindy's donated £50. Thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, hi Phil, I've seen a lot of older artists like Elton John praising some of these young singers who regularly use auto-tune and or mime live. Why do you think that is? Are they being pressured by their labels, or do you think they just accept that this is the modern music industry? Thanks. So thank you for that. And first of all, I don't know the answer for that. I mean, one of the answers would be that, guys like Sir Elton John know what's all going on and just says that he likes singers just to, live an easier life, or, particular singers that he's a fan of, all this kind of stuff. But I'm not sure how many people actually know what's going on in the industry, that it's so widespread. And I mean, the reason that I say that is because of that performance at the Royal Albert Hall, where Elton's mic didn't have auto-tune. It didn't go through Antares, for example, which is auto-tune live. He didn't have that on his mic, but then Dua Lipa did have that. She was going through auto-tune. So I think, was he given the option to do that? Or does he just not know, and he thinks that everybody just sings live, as he does, and he has for his whole career. So I don't know how up to speed old school singers are with technology. They might not even know about this all happening now, and they just think, and I know for a fact that some singers and musicians can't hear A440 standard pitch equal temperament. They don't have the little bell that goes off in their ear thinking, oh, this is wrong. This isn't quite where the note should be because it's being calibrated. So, it might be that Elton John can't hear that. So he doesn't know. I think that's probably the most accurate answer as to, why... I don't know. Why he might be praising somebody for example, a great live vocal, but the live vocal isn't actually the vocal because it's a manipulated and calibrated version of the vocal. So if somebody says, oh, that was a great live vocal, you could say, oh yeah, but it wasn't the live vocal. It's gone through Antares. It's been processed from a pitch perspective. So it means that we're not actually hearing the voice. I'm not sure what the answer would be. Like, if I was in a room with Sir Elton John and he's listening to us sing and he says, oh, they've got a great voice, I would say, oh, but yeah, that's the product of the processing. So the pitch accuracy is, we're not actually hearing the real voice. Because I'm pretty sure he would go, what? Probably not like that. He'd go, what? I don't think he would know. And yeah, I think, well, that's one part. He just doesn't know. And the miming thing, I don't know. Again, some people just don't know that it's happening. As for the artists themselves, now this is a really important point, is some artists have a particular line that they don't go past, and they think, right, I'm going to perform what I can with my own voice, and it is what it is, and that's what I want to do artistically, and I'm not going to use anything to enhance or change my voice to make it non-representative of what I can do as an artist, all that kind of thing. So that's all to do with that artist's beliefs and opinions and what they want to do personally. There are some artists that might not be confident at singing live, and I know it sounds stupid that a professional singer might not feel confident singing live, but that is sometimes the case, that they won't perform in front of people without auto-tune, for example, because then they know they don't have to worry as much about hitting the notes. There might be a particular note or a particular melody or phrase that then they kind of have in their mind that they find difficult to do. So if they then go on stage and they're nervous and everything, having that auto-tune means that they really don't have to worry too much about it. And, I mean, it's up to everyone artistically what they want to do, and that's their decision. And I think the problem is when people don't know it's happening, and then unfortunately someone like me points it out, and then all the fans come running at me and hurling abuse because they didn't know, and they don't know. They think that I'm making it up, but then they watch my video and they might be in denial, but eventually they might realize that what I'm saying is true. And it's then at that point that they've got to then, I guess, reevaluate what they thought they were listening to and what they are actually listening to. And I know that a lot of people do place more emphasis on being able to do it live and actually being able to do it. So yeah, having something that helps you from a pitch perspective. And I know that other professional singers and singers that I've spoken to, they are not, I mean, I was going to say they're not in favor of it. Some of them are dead against any kind of auto tuning or pitch correction or, miming live, all that kind of stuff. And I'm talking about kind of seasoned professional singers who know that it's about putting in the hard work, and there you will find the pitch accuracy increases and you get better at hitting pitches rather than calibrating. So that's another thing. And I think with the younger generation as well now, you can honestly say that they don't know any different. They might not know that people used to do it without tuning or without editing their voice afterwards. And again, it's going to sound stupid, but you can make that argument that growing up watching YouTube and all of the cover videos and all the things that I've looked at that are clearly pitch corrected or auto-tuned, then all they're doing is just doing what everyone else is doing, because that's all they know. That they don't know about the singing live without anything to help you out. So yeah, there's that argument. And then finally, you've got the pressure thing, where even independent artists and small YouTube channels are pitch correcting their voices and auto-tuning their voices, and sometimes even miming and trying to make it look like it's live. So you've got that side of it, that nobody wants to release anything that might have a slightly off note, because then they won't be seen as being as good as another artist, or just good in general, or a great singer or anything like that. So yeah, this is it. But in the future, and this is why I'm working on my side project quite a lot, especially recently, to kind of get it out there as soon as possible, because I think there's going to be an opportunity for us to make a little bit of a difference, if only just to allow people to know what they're listening to, and for artists as well, to kind of empower them, that if they want people to know that they are genuinely singing and that they're not either miming or using pitch correction or using auto-tune live, then they can let people know en masse that they are genuinely doing it. And then people can obviously make their own mind up as to which artists they watch or which ones they value the most, depending on what that artist actually does. But again, it's just artistic choices at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, if an artist said, no, I'm not going to mime, I'm not going to use auto-tune live, I'm going to do it just the way that I do it, the record label can't force them to do it. I mean, the record label could drop them after their next album, but that's the thing. I think a true artist is never in it for fame or money or anything like that. They're just in it for their music and their direction. And there's plenty of artists who aren't the biggest names in the world, and they haven't made millions and millions of dollars, and they aren't going on tour getting billions of dollars from a tour. They'll be doing small intimate venues and just do their own thing, and they're happy with that, because artistically that's what they want to do and that's their vision. So yeah, this is the other thing that I know that some people don't realise, that fame isn't a precursor to talent. So you can have some people who nobody knows, but they're amazingly talented. So yeah, this is a very important thing. So anyway, thank you for that, Cindy. And Nicole's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. Good evening. A thought for John Sykes. Died yesterday. He is in heaven with Phil Lynott and Gary Moore, but we have their music. Good week, Phil. You're great. Kiss and rock for all. So thank you for that. And yeah, I did hear this sad news earlier. And yeah, I mean, the whole Thin Lizzy thing, I actually knew John Sykes first of all from Whitesnake. So that the self-titled album Whitesnake, that was just a massive success. And I know that John and David didn't get on it, or should I say that they kind of fell out. Actually, I think David Coverdale I'm talking about, I think David fell out with everyone in the band on that particular album. And by the time it was released, I think he sacked everyone in the band. So yeah, but anyway, some amazing tracks on that particular album. And yeah, that's where I first knew John Sykes from. But yeah, very sad news. Thank you for that, Nicole. And Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. Oh, and by the way, this is why it was requested over on Patreon. Quite a lot of people asked for Is This Love? So that's it. The vote for tonight is between Is This Love and A Design for Life. So yeah, you can have your vote for any of those two, because Is This Love is Whitesnake. Right. Yes, thank you, Tammy. And the message is, I can see Karen is over here saying, can you give us a Pinky update, Phil? So just quickly before I get into that, yeah, I mean, it's still kind of all right. I don't know whether you can see that. It's only it's still, I don't know, maybe a centimetre, a little bit more maybe, but there's a couple of cuts that it was. Anyway, it's closed up, which is fine. The only problem that I have is that it is really sensitive in a particular point. And I don't know exactly why that is. I mean, it's really sensitive to the point where when I touch something, it feels like an electric shock. So I don't know whether, I mean, I have a kind of theory, but then I think, well, maybe that just doesn't make sense. But because it's so sensitive, I thought, what if kind of the nerve endings, it was kind of sliced open and it's healed in such a way that they're now really close to the surface, if not kind of poking through where it's sealed up. I don't know. Because the thing is, when I did cut it and I looked at it to begin with, because there's so much blood coming out, the cut, when I did see it, it was kind of open, but also the inside part of the finger, like I thought it was maybe the fat underneath was protruding outside of the cut. So I don't know whether any of that stuff, because it is kind of a bit uneven to the touch, I don't know whether any of that would remain on the outside and it get closed around it, and then you're actually touching, what really sensitive part. Anyway, I'm just going to wait and see if it's fine. But yeah, a few times, all I've done is just touch it very lightly, and it is like, an electric shock that you would get, like friction when you touch. Like if I was electric and I touch this mic, you get that kind of thing, and it is that kind of feeling. So yeah, a bit weird, but I'll leave it and see how it is. As long as it's not bleeding, that's good. Because that was the first port of call, was just to stop that. But it's, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks now. But fingers crossed it'll get better. Right, so thank you for that, Tammy. The message was, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 459,000 subscribers. I didn't even put this up on screen. So there we have it, 459,000 subscribers. So yeah, thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, all that cool stuff. You will have to hit the notification bell in order to get notified for all of the analysis videos and the live streams as well. But thank you guys for doing that. It's a great number. We will keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But thank you, for mentioning that, Paul. I should have maybe shown that on screen a little bit earlier. And are we now up to date here? Oh, Lisa has donated £11.66. So thank you for that, Lisa, on the messages. And this is Lisa W, by the way. Hi, Phil. This is to help with the launch of your secret project. The waiting is the hardest part. Getting close now. So thank you for that. And I think most people will know when I'm going to be launching it, because I do a video to let everybody know. But I'm also going to be contacting other channels and putting out lots of emails and contacting some people in the industry that I know, but as well as maybe some media outlets that I've had contact with in the past as well. And I think my plan is that over on Patreon, because of you guys and all these people at the bottom of the screen who are involved over there, my plan is that maybe we can just get a few people involved over there. And what I was thinking of is that during the Studio Hamburg thing that I had years ago, where Studio Hamburg gave me a copyright strike for looking at one of their videos, and they didn't even watch my video. It was just an instant strike. So I obviously wanted to remove that strike because what I was doing was fair use. Anyway, I emailed them, I didn't hear anything back, and then tried to get in touch with them on social media, didn't hear anything back, and then a day after that did the same thing, didn't hear anything back. So then I asked everybody to message Studio Hamburg so that I could get rid of this copyright strike on my channel. And what happened was a lot of people, of which I'm eternally grateful to, a lot of people messaged Studio Hamburg. So then the next day, I got an email from Studio Hamburg that was basically them saying, what do you think you're doing telling that many people to email, because our inbox has just been full of those emails. But secretly I thought, well, this is why, because I wanted an answer. Why didn't you answer me 2 or 3 days ago? Because obviously just one email, I'll put that to one side. Whereas if they get tens or hundreds of emails, then it's almost like you've got to poke the bear and say, yeah, are you actually going to answer or what? So anyway, yeah, long story short, with that approach, I thought, well, obviously that's a method, or that's a way to get your point across. So I thought, if we collectively do that, and this is what I'm going to be hoping that people can help me with my project, I'm going to be messaging, industry people, media people, YouTube channels that have featured videos of me in the past and looked at my videos, and I'm going to message them and see if maybe they can help by spreading the word on their channel. And if I give email addresses, for example, for other media outlets, and say to people, or you people or patrons, can you send a message to this particular news agency or news show that there might be, and tell them that they should be covering this story, then I'm thinking, well, that's something that might work. If they suddenly get lots and lots of emails about one particular story, then I think they're more inclined to at least spend a bit of time on it and think, well, what is this that's going on? So yeah, that's going to be kind of one branch of the tree, of the side project, in order to hopefully get the word out there. But I mean, I've received messages in the past when I've done analysis videos of people wanting me to join a panel and discuss things and all that kind of stuff from news agencies. So yeah, I'll have to kind of look back in time and see who those agencies were, and then go out to them. And yeah, I know it's a lot of work. I've got to do a lot of emails and keep track of all of the places that I'm emailing, people that I'm emailing, and make sure that I get through all of them and keep records of everything. But yeah, rest assured that I'm working at it in order to launch everything as soon as possible. But if you are over on Patreon, then I will do a post over there asking for, first of all, who's interested in getting involved, but then also, asking for people to do particular tasks to do with just getting the word out, really. I know that I can get the word out quite a lot just on my channel, but I think it's a case of spreading off into other channels and into literally other channels of media to spread things, as much as possible. But anyway, thank you for that, Lisa, that donation. Karen has donated £5.33. So thank you for that, Karen, and the messages. Hi, Phil. Congratulations on hitting 459,000 subscribers just for fun. From Mindful Talk. What does being a good person mean to you? Thanks for what you do and for being you. We all love you for you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And being a good person means to me just being accepting of everybody else. So I think that with my analysis videos and just the way that I think about everything in life, I always try to boil things down to their simplest form. And you think, right, what is required for every human on earth to coexist in a peaceful state? And the answer to that is in my opinion, no one human making a demand of another human. So it means that when you meet somebody, you are equal with that person. And that's it. That's where you start from. So whatever they say, you will listen to. Whatever you say, they will listen to. And that's it. And that's kind of the basic level of respect that will be required for humans to live in peace forever. But at the moment, the problem is that humans make demands of other humans before they've even talked to them. And it doesn't matter what that demand is. If you're making a demand of somebody else and you're putting yourself above them, then that's eventually the end game of that is not a cohesive, peaceful society, because already there's going to be friction. Because the person who you're asking something of will either have a normal reaction to that, or they could have a negative reaction. They'll say, well, why are you asking that of me? Because I've only just met you. It's almost a defensive reaction, and then you're now trying to kind of calm the waters because there's already tension. Whereas, if everybody just says, right, I'm a human, you're a human, how can we work together? What can we do? That's the most important thing, I think, of being a good human. And that's everything else is irrelevant, to that point. You can go off into your opinions, beliefs, religion, all that kind of stuff. All of that is up in the air, but boiling it all down to that common respect for your fellow man or woman, fellow human, it all comes down to that point, regardless of what you believe in. You can believe in anything you want to, but you've got to be at that level, because anything else means that, like I said, it ends up in not having a peaceful society, because someone's having to make some kind of sacrifice or concession to the other people that are making demands. So, and I know that what I'm saying sounds ridiculous in the world that we live in, because we are millennia away from that point. Everybody's making demands of everybody else, and and we got wars that are happening as well. So I'm talking about millennia in the future as to when this might be achieved, but certainly I think it's going. I mean, it might just be human nature that will never evolve far enough or enough to realize that, I'm making a demand of somebody that I don't know, so how would I feel if they did that to me? That's all it is. It's very simple. Anyway, thank you for that, Karen. Right, Steve has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. The message is, which female singers, past and current, do you think require the least amount of pitch correction and auto-tune to sound great? So thank you for that, Steve. And I'd say a lot of the past singers that I featured on my channel, when we're talking about voices from, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and maybe into the 90s. As soon as you get close to the 2000s, we're now talking about prime pitch correction. 1998 was the whole auto-tune thing. But 2001 was when pitch correction Melodyne started coming in. So, those voices before the 2000s. And I mean, typically, back in the day, you would have actors who had lots of different abilities. So it meant that they were great at acting, but also they had studied singing, and they might be classically trained, or they might have a trained voice that they'd worked at for many, many years. So it means that when you watched a movie that was a musical, for example, the person playing that role could actually sing, and sing to a very high level. I mean, I'm kind of imagining Julie Andrews here, for example, with The Sound of Music, and having somebody that has got the acting ability, but also just crazy ability vocally, to the point where they can perform on stage and at the West End and Broadway and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of talent, I mean, you had to be able to do that. Unfortunately, that was just the bar. That if you were that good, it means that you would get the part. If you weren't very good and you needed pitch correction or auto-tune, that didn't exist yet, so you didn't have an option. Just the best people, the cream rose to the top. So I'd say pretty much the female singers from 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, Barbra Streisand and all these singers that we've looked at on the channel, that's, you know, Karen Carpenter, who were just really accurate and would not need pitch correction. Because just quickly getting into the definition of what pitch correction is, it's correction. It's making something right that was wrong. So if you're working with a singer, and lots of people have said about Judy Garland as well, that, oh, can you pitch correct her voice so we can hear what it sounds like? She didn't need correcting. So if you try and correct it, it means that you're probably not going to be able to tell the difference unless you do it really heavy-handedly, and that would just be an exercise in me doing it really badly, which I know a lot of people do in the industry, but it would just make it sound stupid and weird. But with pitch correction, if you're working with a vocal that is already correct, then you can't do anything with that unless, and this is the irony, unless you do it really badly to literally stick it over the lines all the time, then yeah, it probably will be noticeable. But yeah, that's the point, that great singers like Karen Carpenter, Barbra Streisand, Julie Andrews, going back to that kind of era, like I said, 60s, 70s, 80s, and yeah, into the 90s, the great singers then don't need any correction, so they wouldn't need any pitch correcting. So when I say, or when Steve asks, you know, who would require the least amount of pitch correction, all of them, because it didn't exist, but they were still all really accurate pitch wise. The problem now is because the tool exists, there's less incentive for somebody to work at their pitch, which means if the technology's removed, they're now going to sound like they need correcting, like what they're singing is wrong. So that's the problem. And the problem nowadays is that even with great singers, like I said, a lot of people are doing a very bad job and not allowing the great singers to just sing. They're getting the great singers to sing and then moving, you know, the voice over the lines. And I know that, yeah, people have asked me to do, like I said on Judy Garland's voice, they've asked me to pitch correct it, but I would be doing that. It would sound ridiculous just putting it straight on a line, because you'd be squashing the vibrato as well. So yeah, great voices don't need correcting, and they still don't. Great voices, and the proof is in the pudding that every Christmas, for example, when the classic Christmas tracks come on the radio, nobody says, oh, hang on, all of these Christmas songs that were recorded in like the 80s or the 90s, all of these Christmas songs are so out of tune because they didn't have auto-tune or pitch correction that was applied all the time back then. So, I mean, all they could do is speed up tape and slow down tape, and it's, yeah, a lot more difficult to achieve. So the reason that we know that pitch correction and auto-tune isn't required on great voices is because all of the songs that are not pitch corrected and not auto-tuned are still listenable. And not only that, they are seen as, you know, the top of the top, like the main hits. And the fact that those songs come back at Christmas, and we know it's not just Christmas songs, you know, huge hits from previous years that are always on the radio, if they are from the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, they're not having digital pitch correction or digital auto-tune on the vocals. They're still the human voice. So we know that it's not required because nobody is stopping listening to the Christmas hits and throwing them all out and saying, right, this Christmas, we're not going to have, you know, George Michael's voice or Wham, because it sounds so bad, because it's not been corrected. And that's it. And like I said, the proof's in the pudding that everyone listens to those songs every Christmas. And my nephews, they're not listening to it going, oh, why does this sound really weird? Because there's this whole argument that the reason it's used is because of the ears are now attuned to it and it's the sound that everyone likes. It's like, well, yeah, but that means that all the old songs you wouldn't be able to listen to because your ears would go, oh, hang on, that's weird, that sound. What is that sound? Oh, that's when it's not calibrated to A440, but your ears are used to A440. That's why it sounds weird. Nobody's saying that. So yeah, I don't really buy that argument of them saying fundamentally that argument saying that everyone's ears are used to it now and that's why it's used. The underlying argument for that, when you peel back the layers, is the music industry make more profit by applying it, because it means that singers who need correcting can get corrected. So therefore they can all be at the same level. Great singers and not so good singers can all sound the same from that pitch perspective, which means they're making equal money across the board rather than making money with this great singer and then getting nothing for the other person who can't sing as well. You know, if you can get them both at the same level to sound identical, to the detriment of this voice, who's the great singer, but to the advantage of the not so good singer, it means that you're now making double your profit. So yeah, people that make that argument, yeah, you can get rid of that, really. It's fundamentally down to the industry making more money and saving time in studios. They can get a person to go in there, do one take. They might miss 20 notes in a song, but you can just drag those notes to where you want them to be or where they should have been. And then, you know, you don't have to spend money in the studio on studio time. So it just all comes down to money at the end of the day. It's just more profitable. It's not about, you know, anything more than that people's ears are getting used to particular sounds. It's not. It's just money. Right, thank you for that, Steve. Tracy's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tracy. The message is, hi Phil, just a small donation to thank you for all you do. Your live stream is a bright spot on a dark day. Tracy. So thank you for that. That's Tracy N. And we are up to date in the PayPal window. So thank you guys for these donations. And Exotica Esoterica has donated $4.99. I always question when I say that as to whether I'm saying it correctly or not. But thank you. The message is, feel free to call me tongue twister. Your unruly bangs make me want to take a razor to them. Razoring gives texture. So thank you for that. And yeah, this is the thing with haircuts and hairdressers. Because I had to change hairdresser because, yeah, my previous one kind of fell off the edge of the world. I don't know where she went. But, yeah, it meant that I then got another hairdresser. And I think that hairdressers do things differently because the one previously, yeah, used to shave kind of the sides, do an undercut, and had these other scissors that looked like they had teeth on them. And I think that might have been the layering stuff. Yeah. Whereas my current hairdresser just uses a comb and scissors. And those are the only implements. So, yeah. But I don't know what my hair looks like from a hairdresser's perspective. All I know is that, yeah, I mean, my last haircut there wasn't enough taken off because, as you can see, I'm having to actually move it out of my eyes. And that was only a week ago now. So, yeah, I'll have to try and get it sorted somehow. But thank you for that. And Mr. Smith. The lycometer. What have I done there? Something's moved. It says cha. Oh, that's going to be the chat, $7. The chat total. Oh, no, the chat revenue is what that says. So that's super chat. So, yeah, $7 of that. I've moved it across. It now is over the likes. So there we go. And, it was £7, not dollars. So the lycometer is now back on screen. Why did that move off to the side? Oh, I know what happened. It's because the previous message or the donation from Exotica Esoterica, I couldn't see the end because it just cut off the last bit. So I had to move it across, and therefore, I mean, this is it. This window is just a screen capture. So if I kind of grab this and move it up and down, you can see that whenever I move anything on my screen, it's going to move it on the screen capture of what I'm looking at. So that is why that happened. Anyway, Mr. Smith has donated £2 as well. So thank you for that. And the message is, 500,000, here you come. Well done, sir. So thank you for that. And yeah, this is it. I mean, closing in kind of slowly on it, but yeah, we'll see where we end up. And half a million is a lot of people, but yeah, who knows where we will end up. Karen's donated $10 again. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, I've followed your channel for nearly 5 years and watched it grow. Your objectivity and knowledge is phenomenal. As a musician, I appreciate all you do. Many thanks, Karen. So thank you again for that, Karen. Right, now, where are we? It's already gone 10 to midnight. So we are going to be jumping into probably the cover video soon. But let me just check how long this Phil Jam is for tonight. It is going to be 5 minutes and 19 seconds, so a relatively shorter jam for tonight. So yeah, we will be able to jump in to that at the end of the live stream. We might jump into Is This Love Now? I'm going to bring this to a close. Oh, do we have a troll corner for tonight? Probably not. But or maybe just a general kind of thing. I'll tell you what, we'll jump into Is This Love in a second, because we haven't been into Troll Corner recently. Have we been into Troll Corner for 2025 yet? I'm not sure, but we'll jump in there now, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! When I say that I'll see you in a second, I mean literally like 5 seconds. So, something that I saw on the internet was, and I was just trying to find a picture, and this is what happens when I need a picture of myself for something, such as this side project, and putting together a picture of me, because obviously it's something that I'm doing, so people need to know who I am, what my background is, and my channel, all that kind of stuff. When I need a picture of me, the quickest thing for me to do is to type it into the internet and just go to Google and just select an image there, or go to my website and just screen capture an image, rather than try and find it on my computer. So yeah, I do that. But what I noticed at the bottom of this page was a Reddit post, and it was somebody saying about one of my videos. And I think I know who actually did this particular post, because they did a very long comment on my channel as well. But they're basically saying that my channel, it says, is something like, Phil ... a fraud, and all this other stuff. Because what happened was, they had watched a video of something or some artist that they might have been a fan of, and obviously they've taken that as me pointing out or trying to expose their favourite artist. And actually this was a video that was on multiple people, because I was talking about a channel in general where the claim was made that it was totally unedited. On the channel, and all of the performances were just one take, and this was the channel called The First Take, I think it's called, which is actually owned by Sony, that I found out afterwards, so that's why it's edited, so that the artists can seem a lot better in the live performances that might not be as good. But anyway, so I was analysing that particular YouTube channel, and the person had asked me whether the performances were edited or not, given that their mission statement was that nothing was edited. So anyway, I did that video and I showed that, yeah, it was edited. And I used the First Take's own video. So there are artists on their own video that obviously they are showing performing, and this is all during their mission statement of saying that it's all unedited. So yeah, this particular person I think might have been a fan of one or two of the artists that have been on that particular channel, and I'm just pointing out that the channel isn't doing what it's saying, or what it says it does. So anyway, they obviously took offense to what I was saying and went to Reddit, started this post, and said that what I was doing was exposing artists that are larger than myself and all this kind of stuff, and that I was using them to try and get more views on my YouTube channel. And this is something that I've explained before about my views are all right. They're more than all right. I'm not featuring an artist to try and get more views. I've just been asked to look at that particular video, and there are plenty of artists that I've looked at where they don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but I'm just looking at that performance because that's what I've been asked to look at. So yeah, I mean, it would probably make more sense if I had 1,000 subscribers or maybe 5,000 subscribers, and I was just looking at channels that had hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers and just constantly doing that. But yeah, as you guys know, I look at lots of different artists, lots of different bands, lots of different channels, even those that I'm a fan of. I'm going to still point out exactly what's going on, even though it's not particularly nice to point out to everyone that this has happened to your favorite artist's voice. But anyway, so on this Reddit post, this person wrote quite a lot, and I then read the comments, and it was quite good, because a comment underneath said, "Oh, I think you've misunderstood the channel," because he's asked to look at these videos and he's just pointing out what's happening. It's not actually trying to expose any one artist, and he hasn't got anything against any one artist. So, and then somebody else commented underneath saying, yeah, from what they've seen, it's all, legitimate and above board. And then another person said that, this Phil is quite a respected person in the industry and all this kind of stuff. So it was good that, because that was on Reddit, so it's nothing to do with YouTube or my videos or like Patreon as well. These are people that are over on Reddit that might have seen my channel and are telling this person that, but by kind of calling me out as a fraud, that they've got the total wrong end of the stick. And I think the problem was they'd just seen one video, and what they saw involved one of their artists that, and again, they're thinking that I'm having a go at that artist. I'm not having a go at any of the artists that have been on that particular YouTube channel. I'm pointing out what's happening on that YouTube channel because it contradicts their mission statement. So anyway, but that was it. So yeah, it was quite good to read people's comments. Not that I go looking for that kind of thing. It's just because I was looking for a picture and that happened to be there. And I clicked on it because, I wanted to know why this person thought that, I was a fraud or that I was doing anything fraudulently. So there you go. But it's, good to have support out there. And I think this person who I think made the comment on YouTube then did a reply to my comment when I tried to explain everything, and they were a lot more kind of accepting and weren't then calling me names and all that kind of stuff. So I think we managed to, calm the seas, and it was all level at the end, and then they understood, I think, a little bit more. And I think they started to understand that I'm not pointing it out about an artist, I'm pointing it out about the industry. This is something that has come about due to the current industry. I'm not saying that a particular artist has, run up to every other artist and said, right, you must use this, you must do that to your voice, you must correct this and that. It's an industry thing. So it's very much not on the artists. So anyway, that is Troll Corner for tonight. Let's get out of here. And there we have it. And I can see that Sue says, you de-trolled the troll. Well done, Wings of Pegasus. Thank you for that. And this is the point. I always, I don't remove any comments on my YouTube channel. They're all there. Yeah, and I think it's an important thing to be totally open. You can't start, I don't think you can start editing your own comment section to make it look like one thing or the other thing. Every opinion, every view is valid to that particular person making their point. Like that person, they made their point, and then I replied making my point, and we found a common ground that then maybe they'd watched more of my videos and understood, oh, he's done other videos on other artists. He's done a video on Bryan Adams, for example, who he's obviously a fan of, but is still doing it, still objectively pointing out, unfortunately, that a live performance was heavily pitch corrected afterwards. But this is it. I think it's important to allow people to have their points of view, but part of having a point of view is accepting somebody else's point of view. So you can't say that, right, I have this opinion and your opinion is wrong. An opinion is never wrong. It's just what it is for that person. I think an opinion can be maybe ill-informed, and that's where it then comes in, that if you can inform somebody about a particular situation to help them maybe come up with an opinion that might be different to how they first thought the situation was, then great, but that's all about the freedom of information and just being totally open and honest. And yeah, there's not a lot of openness and honesty in the world at the moment, unfortunately. So yeah, it's very difficult to kind of get to that point. Anyway, let's jump into tonight's cover video. And yeah, we'll jump into this now. Otherwise, we're never going to get through it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It is my version of the Whitesnake classic, Is This Love? And thank you guys for requesting this over on Patreon as well. And I'll see you after. Rock. You go alone. It's times like these I can't make it on my own. Wasted days, me sleepless nights, and I can't wait to see you again. I found to spend my time waiting on your call. How can I tell you, babe, my back's against the wall. By my side just to tell me it's alright, 'cause I don't think I can take anymore. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this a love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, because it's really stronger day by day, and I can't wait to see you again, so I can hold you in my arms. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, 'cause it's really And there we have it. That was my version of the Whitesnake classic, Is This Love? Iconic solo as well in that particular song with, yeah, that sad news of John Sykes passing away recently. yeah, that vibrato is yeah, just such a unique sound. As I always say, it's such a huge part of every player's expression, their unique vibrato, and yeah, he certainly had that. Right, anyway, let's jump into the PayPal window. There has been a donation from Sue, so thank you for this, Sue, and it's for £10, and the message is, it takes a delicate approach to de-troll the trolls. You would have made a persuasive, effective attorney. And so thank you for that. And, I mean, maybe I'll need that, or it's going to be an advantage for my side project, yeah, for that kind of thing. But, yeah, I always like to try and explain things in the most basic way, because then it just makes it understandable, and then people can realise, yeah, what the point is and how to digest the information. That's what it's all about. But anyway, we have hit the goal for tonight, and it means we are going to be having a fill jam. What's the time? Okay, 7 minutes past 12. So, 7 minutes past midnight here. So, thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. We did need a bit of a spike of the likes going on during that particular cover video, but we got there. So, we are going to be jumping into this. Just quickly, Shiro Network has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. The message is, and that's their first super chat donation. The message is, your channel is revelatory. I am humbly illuminated. So thank you for that. And yeah, anything that I can do to just help people know what's going on, and maybe, you know, appreciate the performance in a little bit more depth, or yeah, know a bit more about a particular performance. That's what I'm here to do whenever I get a request to look at a video. So we are going to be jumping into the fill jam. So microphone on. Zoom out. There is the red dude, and grab guitar, Strat plugged in for tonight, and right, let's click on this and mute that. Right, this is a melodic rock ballad backing track in E minor, 100 BPM, beats per minute, and this is from Titan Jam Tracks. If you guys want to check this out yourselves, right, let me know what the levels are like. I'm gonna grab this. Oh, let me check. This is actually. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can hear that, which is good. Right, yeah. Oh, whether I'm going to be able to hear the backing track, who knows? Let's have a listen. Let me know what it's like, levels wise, and we'll see. Oh, this is almost a bit. Is this lovey? Lovey. Going there. There were I stopped because I thought this could change. There we have it. That was it. It went to a fast fade out, weird kind of ending thing. So there we have it. That was melodic rock ballad backing track in E minor, 100 beats per minute from Titan Jam Tracks. So now the thing is with that backing track, I'm always thinking it's going to be more complicated than it actually turns out being. So there, yeah, a couple of times there where going from the quieter part to the heavier part, going back, you're not really sure, are we going to go back to the same thing that we've already played? Is it literally just all going to be back, you know, and just playing in E minor? So yeah, that's why always a bit tentative, because the last thing you want to do when you're getting to the end of what you can feel, you might have had your, you know, your 8 or 12 or 16 bars and it feels like something's about to change. The last thing you want to be doing is going off into a run or playing a note that you're kind of making these calculations thinking, right, if it changes, I should be all right in this position, but maybe not. So yeah, there we have it. It is what it is. That's what the Phil Jams are all about. So thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. And thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up, for ensuring that we had a Phil Jam tonight. And Diamond Girls donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is awesome jam. The build and changes were amazing. So thank you for that. Right, we are now done for tonight's live stream. So thank you guys for tuning in, for hitting the thumbs up as well. So that means that next week, next Tuesday, we're going to have an even higher likes goal for the Phil Jam. So if you can turn up again, that would be very much appreciated, so that we can have a Phil Jam next week as well. But I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. And I'll be live streaming on Saturday night as well. As always, 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!